This is transaction management like a boss. I'm walking you through the dashboard, how to start a transaction, staying compliant with your documents, keeping up with your task, and more. So let's get into it. When you log in, this is your home screen, your transaction management dashboard. So up at the top, you're immediately going to see how many transactions you have in each stage. So you're going to see upcoming, active, under contract, pending, and closed. And down below, you're going to see that these are color coordinated as well as separated into those same stages. When you hold your cursor over one of these stages and scroll, you'll be able to scroll down and see all of the transactions in that stage, and then a preview of the details and terms. Right here, you can also switch over to see your closed transactions, as well as any canceled if you have those. Up at the top, you're also going to notice your volume is here, the total for your pipeline and closed, as well as your commissions, pipeline and closed. You can filter all of these transactions out by buy side, listing side, as well as filter them out by the date here. And you can filter them out by updated or closing date. You can switch the view here, and then you can search for a transaction in this search bar. And you can also filter the type out by the buy side, listing side, or stage here as well. Okay, so that's the dashboard. It tells you where your business stands the minute you log in. No guessing, no digging. But knowing where you're at is only half the job. Bosses take action. So let's talk about how every transaction actually starts. To start every new transaction, you're going to click on the button at the top right that says New Transaction. So click here. This is where you're going to choose whether it's a buyer or a listing. Your information is going to be right here on the left, and then you're going to choose your buyer client right here. Now you can either add this contact in from scratch by clicking Add Contact, put their name, email, phone number, or you can pull them in from Follow Up Boss by clicking Import from Follow Up Boss. Or if you already have them in your contact list, you can simply select them and add them there. This bar will allow you to change your transaction name to whatever you'd like that to be. And this is going to be where you can select either buyer broker agreement, buyer offer, neither, or your listing agreement options will be here for the listing side. This is where you can link with an envelope if you started one outside of the transaction or want to pull one in. And this is where you can connect with an MLS listing. Like if you're making an offer and you want to put the property here, you can go ahead and connect it. And then you're going to select Create Transaction. So let's click Agreement and then Create Transaction. So it's going to immediately open up the buyer rep agreement for you. That envelope is going to get started and you can move forward as you know how to do from here. See how that works? Buyer rep, listing agreement, offer, it all starts from that one button. And once that transaction is live, it becomes its own little command center. So let's look inside of one and see what's actually in there. Okay, let's take a deeper dive into one of these transactions. So you're going to click on a transaction and it will open up for you. You're going to see here immediately the listing that you're connected to. We are looking at a listing side right now, but whether it's a listing or a buy side, you're going to see all of your parties that you have connected with listed here. You're going to see the stage at the very top. And then this is where you're going to see all of the terms right away, all of the important dates and top line items. So if it has not already been updated for you, then all you need to do is click on it, select what you'd like to, and fill it in that way. For the dates, a box will pull up. So all you have to do is click on that to update it if needed. And then if you keep scrolling down, it's going to show the purchase agreement, top line items, and details here for you as well. And again, if you need to update or change anything, all you do is click on that and then simply update. The third item below, if you keep scrolling, is going to be the transaction commission. So you can put in your gross commission, agent commission, and broker commission. If it was a referral, you would click yes and put the fees there as needed. And this is where the commission is going to be pulled in to show on your main dashboard as well. So then you can click on parties, and this is where your information and your client's information will be. And then you can also add in the other agents. And then down below, I love this, you can add in other parties as well. So you can click select role and add in the title company here, add an escrow officer, attorney, and then I also like to add in the lender. So you would just type in lender, select contact, and then you can add contact here if you don't already have their information saved, or click and then add party. So they'll show up here as well. And then next is envelopes. So you're going to see that your listing agreement, the offer, if you made any counters, any envelope that you have linked into this transaction is going to show here. It's going to show the status for you, when you last updated it, last edit. If you click on these three dots over here, this is where you can unlink something if you'd like for it to not show up. That's your terms, your people, and every envelope tied to that deal, all living in one spot. But what actually keeps you compliant and out of trouble is your documents. This is the part that separates agents who are organized from agents who are organized like a boss. Okay, let's dive into the Documents tab. So you're immediately going to notice that there is a listing document pre-made list here. So you can keep this one, scroll down to the bottom. You can delete items from this list by clicking remove. You can change it from if applicable to make required, which changes it to missing and will make it required for compliance. You can also add a custom item here. So add the item name, any help text, and then mark if you want if applicable, and then you would add the item that way. Or if you don't want this list at all and you want to completely create your own list for compliance, then all you need to do is navigate to the left sidebar on your app, and underneath the settings, you'll go to transactions, and then that's where you'll see where to create your new document list there. So there's a few different options on how to get the documents into the list here. So let's start with the information about brokerage services. This one says missing because we are saying it's required for this compliance list. So if you click on that and open it up, you can add in a document by clicking add document here. And then if you want to pull it in, here, go ahead and uncheck this box here. And then if you want to pull in from Click, you can pull it in from any completed envelope that you have here. You can easily search for a document in the search bar. Or if you didn't already have it in an envelope for some reason, you could pull it in straight from your computer. You can drag and drop or click and browse here. And then the other thing is, if you have it completed in an envelope already, then it's going to pull up for you in these unclassified documents, and you'll see information about brokerage services right here. So the hand icon will pop up, you click, all you have to do is drag and drop in there. And so then you're going to see this missing status turns into new. So click on new. This is where you're going to put under review, needs edits, or approved. Let's go ahead and click on approved. This little icon that looks like a chat box, if you click on it, you can add a note in there. And then underneath, you're going to notice that all of these notes let you know what has been changed and updated, and it keeps tabs on everything that's been done. These three dots, if you click on this, you can add a document this way as well. So listing agreement, same thing. You'll see it over here in unclassified. So click, drag and drop into the listing agreement, and then click on new, and you can change it to approved right here. If there was something, whether it be over here put in this list or unclassified, if you want to make it archived, all you have to do is drag and drop into archived. And you can restore that at any time you want as well. So you continue to do that until you have everything you need to be compliant. Up here at the top, I do want to point out also that you can switch out and filter these so that you can only see the approved, you can only see what's still missing, and you can also see the if applicable documents here. Up here at the top left, you're going to see the option to sign documents from this section. You're going to be able to see you can forward documents from here. So if you click on forward documents, this will pop up. You can type in the recipient's email address or choose from contacts. Put the subject here, your message here, check the boxes for which documents you want here, and then send them off. That easy. And then also, you can download documents straight from here. I did also want to mention that whenever you have a document already moved over and ready to be reviewed, it's easy to do by clicking on this eye icon, which will give you a preview of the document. And then these three dots are a few more actions, so you can edit the name, you can sign the document from here, you can archive it or remove it. And then last but not least, thing I want to point out is that you can also send straight to SkySlope if that's what your brokerage uses for compliance. That checklist is basically your compliance safety net. Nothing slips through. Now let's talk about the other thing that bosses never drop: deadlines. Tasks are where this gets really good. Okay, next, let's dive into the task section. This is where you're going to keep track of all of your tasks that you need to do and who needs to do them. If you click on Add Task, you can type in any task here, and then you can choose your assignee, add assignee here, add a description, select the due date, and then select what type of email reminder you would like to be off, light, regular, intense, or custom. And then you can use this toggle to send daily reminders for overdue tasks. And then click Add Task, and it will show up here for you. And then these three dots over here are going to allow you to edit or delete. And then whenever you check it off, you'll see that it pops up as the date it was completed. If you would like some pre-made task list in here, then let me show you how to do that real quick. You're going to navigate to your left sidebar here, and underneath settings, you go click on transactions. And right next to where you would create your document checklist, you're also going to create task checklist. So if you already have one created, you'll see it here for buyer side or listing side. So let's add a new task list and let's click listing side. You're going to choose a title and then add a description and then set checklist task. So you're going to add task by task until you get the list created that you want. So that was the first task. Now you click add task again to add your next one and just continue until you get it like you want it, and then click save. So now you see that's here, and I'm going to show you that it pops up in the transaction now. So go back to a listing transaction, go to task, and now you're going to see this add task from checklist. So click on that and you'll see everything that you just created right here. So you can easily add all of those in. Inspection, walkthrough, appraisal, set it once and let the reminders do the nagging for you. Last stop, notes and status updates. We're going to dive into the notes section here. So you can use this section to type in any note that you need at any point of the transaction. You can also communicate to your agents on your team this way with any notes that should come up. You can communicate with your broker this way, anyone that you're sharing this envelope with, perhaps your transaction coordinator. So I'm going to type in an example note here. I'm going to click enter, and then you're going to see the note down below, the date it was created, and then you can delete it by clicking this little trash can icon. It's just a great place to keep tabs on all of your thoughts, write it down, and you don't have to think about it again. Last thing I'll mention, so if you click on pending from this view, you'll see that you can change the status here. If you want to go from pending to closed, click on closed. And then whenever you go back to your home screen, you'll be able to see that that transaction specifically moved over to closed. The other way you can change the status is to click, drag, and drop from active into under contract, or you can click on these three dots and then move from here. So if you wanted to go from under contract to pending, click on that and it moves over for you. So that way, every time you log in, you're going to quickly see how many transactions you have in each stage. And that's transaction management like a boss. If you haven't checked all of this out in your account yet, go look at it this week. And as always, let us know what you think and if you have any questions at all. We'll see you next time for the next Feature Friday.